besties, welcome to Femme Nature. It's London. If you're new here, this channel is all about helping women shift from burnout to soft life and live luxurious on their own terms. So if that is something that you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and join the Lux Babes. And let's get right into this video. So this video is all about how the selfish woman wins. Yes. The selfish woman is not a bad thing, or the term selfish is not always a bad thing, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to have a markable confidence like the selfish woman in order to get everything that you desire. So if you want to get ahead in life, if you want to achieve your goals and achieve your success, you have to become a selfish woman. This is something that I highly believe in, because in order for you to check off all those goals off your list, and in order to strive for the success that you want, and in order to get to the things that you desire, you have to become selfish. And I'm not talking about be selfish to the point where you're hurting other people, hurting other people's feelings, or not considering other people. What I'm talking about is becoming that selfish woman that puts herself first. She is her main priority. Her doing that, her putting herself first, makes her life very easy, makes her goals very obtainable, and makes the things that she wants to do or she wants to wish for come into fruition. So let's get right into the video. When you think of a confident woman, think of a selfish woman. I like to compare those two or combine those two, because without confidence, there's no selfishness. Because this world would try to diminish your light, diminish your aura. It would try its hardest to take you off your track, so you don't complete your goals, so you don't get ahead, so you're living miserable and small. When you are a selfish woman, you also have high confidence. It just goes hand in hand. Just think of a selfish woman that you know in a good light. For me, when I think of a selfish woman, I think of women that puts themselves first. I am now watching the Sex and the City series, so the woman that reminds me of someone that's selfish is Samantha. She is a go-getter. She is somebody that literally puts herself first in all occasions, whether it's sex, her happiness, her lifestyle in general. She is a selfish woman, and she doesn't let nobody deter her from her goals. She doesn't let nobody deter her from her end goal. In my eyes, that's a good example of a successful, confident, selfish woman. To get ahead in life, you have to have this determination, this drive in order to achieve your goals. And a lot of people consider that selfish, because you would rather stay in and work on your goals than hang out with your friends. So your friends might think that's selfish, but the selfish woman always wins at the end of the day, because she is putting herself first. I want to break out the stereotype of selfishness as being bad, because in order for you to achieve your goals and get the things that you want out of life, you have to be selfish. You have to be a selfish woman. Women are known to be extremely selfless. We're taught that as a young girl. We're taught to consider other people's feelings, put other people first, serve other people first before you're serving yourself. So normally, when you live by that, when you are a selfless individual, a selfless woman, you always get the short end of the stick. You always are putting yourself last. Some women are often very passive aggressive, angry, bitter, miserable, because they are putting everybody and everybody else's needs before their own, and they're not speaking up or changing it. So they internalize it, and now they're miserable, now they're mad, now they're mean or moody, and that's because they wasn't selfish enough. You could tell when a woman is not selfish. If you want to become a woman of substance, a woman of high value, a woman of effort, a woman that has her shit together, you need a level of selfishness that would help you get there. And you need a level of confidence that would help you get there. Because in this world, so many things are put in place to stop you from getting your dreams. There's so many people that don't want you to become successful. So many people that don't want you to love yourself and be full of yourself. And they don't want you to have the confidence or the selfishness that a woman should have. In my opinion, I am more successful when I am selfish. When I am turning all my energy back to myself and keeping it inward, I am more successful. I'm more happy with myself. I'm more happy with my environment. I'm more happy with the things that I got going on versus a time when I was very selfless and just miserable, and I felt like, oh my God, I'm doing so much for other people and I'm not getting nothing in return. Like, not to say that if you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart, you're supposed to expect something back. But if I'm doing something for people that I have no business looking out for, or I have no business helping, or just doing nice things or nice gestures, or being Captain Save-A-Ho for, and they're not returning the favor, and I'm missing out on my goals, I'm missing out on the things that I need to get done, I'm missing out on money because I'm giving out money to people that are not good with finances, and I'm helping them pick up their own slack. I was very miserable when I was doing all of that because I had nothing to show for it. What? Somebody's gonna say I'm a good person? Oh, she's very reliable. Oh, she's very trustworthy. I don't want to be called that. I don't, because there's nothing that I received in return from doing any of that. I was literally depleted and I had nothing to show for all the nice gestures, all the looking out, all the availability that I had for other people when I knew I had to get on my Zoom and get on my grind to become the person that I wanted. So this is what I'm saying. Being a selfish person is something that is needed in order to boost that confidence of yourself. Because back then, I didn't have as much confidence as I do now. I was a selfless person with low confidence, low esteem. And I was looking to have other people build my esteem up by the nice generosity and generous gestures that I was doing, but that's not how it works, okay? So we're going to become selfish and we're going to become confident, and once you master the selfishness and the confidence, you would be able to shake rooms, you would be able to open doors for yourself that you could have never imagined. You would be able to walk with confidence while people are literally talking shit to your face or behind your back because you're unfazed. Why? Because you're selfish and you listen to this video, and I'm going to teach you exactly what to do. When it comes to a successful woman, right, you always hear success stories starting off with, I had to lock in, I had to cut out the noise, and I had to do what I had to do in order to get ahead, right? Just be prepared. Disclaimer, be prepared for people to call you selfish. Be prepared for people to call you the B word. Be prepared for people to call you evil, narcissistic, whatever. These are all projections because, like I said, being a selfish woman, I'm not telling you to go out and break somebody's heart. No, what I'm telling you is to put and focus yourself. When we think of successful women or successful people in general, men, women, cats, dogs, whatever, they literally had to lock in. They literally had to focus on themselves. They literally had to say no to things that was not going to get them to where they needed to go. They literally had to tell their friends, I can't hang out with you for the next 3 months, and they should be okay with it. Sometimes people miss activities. Some people take it as far as missing birthdays and events like that, but you don't have to go that extreme, because when you're that selfish, now nobody likes you. But when it comes to being a selfish woman, you have to know when to say no. Okay? No is a complete sentence. You can't say yes to everything. If you're saying yes to everything, when are you having time for yourself? When? If you're showing up for every event that literally does not make your life better, when are you having time for yourself? If you are saying yes to helping multiple people and you can't even help your damn self, when are you having time for yourself? And I'm only saying this harshly, and I'm only saying this like that because I needed somebody to tell me that. I needed somebody to put me in check and tell me I cannot be there for everybody. I can't be everywhere at once. I'm only one person. So I would literally be extremely drained and unfulfilled, and my deadlines would go missing. I would not meet my own deadlines. I would not save the money that I needed to save because I'm too busy being there for other people. And I had to learn how to say no. I cannot do it. And that at first it was hard for me to say no. I felt guilty. Oh my God, I'm letting this person down. But I would rather let somebody down than let myself down. okay? Because like I stated before, I had nothing to show for being Captain Save-A-Ho to other people. I had nothing to show for, because when it was time for me to receive help or look for the same things that I was given back when I'm in need, nobody could give it to me. Nobody had the heart to give it to me. You know, when I ask for help, I'm asking for too much. So that's what propelled me to become a selfish woman. I had to learn how to say no. So what you're going to do is you're going to start saying no, even if it's the little things. And like hanging out with your friends or lending somebody money that you know is not going to pay you back. No, it's a complete sentence. And you have to be okay. Sometimes it's just no. You don't need an explanation. You don't need to say any reason as to why. I mean, you can give an explanation, but sometimes you really don't need to give a full-on speech or an explanation as to why you're saying no to something. And that is a selfish thing that I want you to start doing, is saying no. And understand that it's okay to say no. You're going to feel guilty at first, especially if you was a people pleaser, especially if you love saying yes to everybody and their mother. You're going to feel guilty, but this is needed. The more you say no, the more you're taking back your power, the more you're taking back your energy, and the more you're having more time for yourself. If you are a people pleaser, you definitely need to become selfish, okay? You need to understand that people pleasing is not going to do nothing for you. Making everybody else happy while you're sad and miserable and bitter in the corner is not going to do nothing for you. You're not getting a reward. You're not wearing a badge. You're not reaping any benefits from being a people pleaser. So you need to learn how to step out of that people pleaser role and become a selfish woman. Successful and selfish woman and a confident woman knows that all of these things are very vital into becoming the woman that she wants, in order to achieve what she wants, in order to live the lifestyle that she wants. Because people would love to take advantage of women. We see it all the time. People would rather women put themselves last. They will rather women give their freaking shirt off their back to other people to appease the crowd. If you are somebody that went through this, I'm sure you could relate. I'm sure this is resonating with you. Another way that you need to be selfish is you need to be selfish with your time. Stop giving everybody your time and attention. Attention is literally like currency. Okay? Attention is more than money. It is worth more than money nowadays. Your attention is very important. Stop giving that low effort man your attention. Stop giving that low vibrational friend your attention. Stop hanging out with people, spending 3 to 4 hours with people that are not adding value to your life. Like, now I'm not saying they need to put you on with game or they need to do X, Y, and Z, but what I'm saying is, you know, you have those friendships that you're spending too much time hanging out with them and you got nothing done. You got nothing accomplished. You feel like your brain just fried like a scrambled egg. You feel like your energy was depleted because you are literally being drained by hanging out with certain people. So stop doing that. Your time is very expensive. Start acting like that and start treating yourself as that. When people want to beg you to hang out and call you up and blow your phone up to hang out to do absolutely nothing, just say, I can't at this moment. You know, I have better things to do. If that's too harsh, you could say, right now I'm not available for that. I'll let you know. But thank you for the invite. You know, if you wanted to sound a little more nicer. But you have to literally be in control of your time. We only have 24 hours a day. And we're spending about 8 or 9 hours sleeping. So the other time that you have available throughout the day is very important. Because you're working, you have a lot of stuff going on, and mindlessly wasting your time is something that is a terrible thing to do. Let me tell you how vital time is. Okay, so normally when I'm at home and I know I have things to do, sometimes I try to like delay it a little bit, but I'm out of that bad habit. So I noticed that I could waste a lot of time, especially if I'm on social media, and 1 hour could turn into 2, could turn into 3 if I'm not careful. Time is very important because time could slip by and you can't get the time back. So I noticed, I was like, you know what? Let me put timers on to see what I could actually accomplish with the 3 hours that I would have wasted scrolling on social media. So I put on a timer and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my phone far away from me so I have no excuse to accidentally scroll on social media. I put a timer on, and I cleaned my house so fast. Like, within 1 hour, my house was spotless. Mind you, I have a 2-bedroom apartment. So it takes a lot of time to clean up, especially if I want it very spotless and pristine. So I got that done in like 1 hour and 30 minutes. And I was like, wow, normally when I'm distracted by my phone or, other things, it would take me like 3 hours to clean up. But if you're very precise on how much time that you have, you would see how valuable time is, because I got so much done within 1 hour and 30 minutes versus 1 hour and 30 minutes scrolling on my phone. So your time, it needs to be productive, and your time needs to be allocated at all times, because like I said, we don't get time back. Okay, time is gonna go regardless, so it depends on what you do with your time, and it would show. Another thing I want you ladies to start doing is being selfish with your body. I am all for a liberated woman, but there's a way to go about it. Be selfish with your body, because a man should not be able to offer you nothing, not even breadcrumbs. He comes to the table with nothing and feel like he can sleep with you. And then because you're sleeping with them, and once he's done with you and discards you, he goes to the next woman thinking that he could get the same thing out of them as well. Be selfish with your body. Please, be selfish with your body, because men don't deserve it. Especially a low effort man. Men have audacity, and they feel like they could just get what they want out of you, but a lot of women are allowing that. A lot of women are not knowing their worth, and a lot of women is messing up the game for everybody else, because they feel like, their body is not that important, but it really is. So be selfish with your body. And I'm telling you, be selfish with your body, because first of all, you don't know what that person is doing. You don't know who they're sleeping with. They're probably not just sleeping with you. There's energies that could be transmitted between each other, because we're all energy in human form. So if they have a lot of negative energy, they could transfer it to you. Unwanted pregnancies, unwanted diseases. So you need to literally be selfish with your body. A lot of times, women don't even have orgasms when they have sex with men. So it's just like, don't waste your time, ladies. Please be selfish with your body. It is very important. You will have a more clear mind. You will have a more clear spirit. You will have a more clear body, because you're not letting anybody's energy enter your womb space. So be selfish with your body. Another way to be selfish with your body is what you're intaking and what you're putting in. Stop eating junk food. It is hard. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. But in order to look good, we love looking good on this channel. In order to look good, to feel good, to be good, you need to start eating healthy. You need to start being strict with yourself. You need to start being strict with that diet, because you want to look good, right? And no matter what your age is, you could always look good. I seen a 62-year-old on my Instagram. Her body is banging. She looks very youthful. Her body looks like she got work done, and she didn't. So she works out, she eats very healthy. She starts her morning off with a warm cup of water and lemon juice, which I started incorporating into my diet, because I want to look good. But be selfish with your body, because you only have one body, and you want to look good forever, right? I know I'm not the only one. I want to look good even if I'm 50 or 60. I want my man to know that I don't have a prime. I'm always going to look good. So be healthy with what you eat. Be healthy with what you consume. Be selfish and strict on yourself when it comes to these things. You can have a cheat meal. You can have a cheat weekend. Probably eat, your favorite foods on the weekend. But during the week, you have to be strict and strategic. A lot of foods are processed. Sometimes if you're struggling with your weight, it's not because you're over consuming, it's what you're eating. A lot of foods, especially out here in the market, is causing inflammation. I used to be bloated and full of inflammation, and my heaviest that I weighed was 213 pounds. Yeah, ridiculous. But it was the type of foods that I was eating. I was eating a lot of red meat. I was eating a lot of rice. I was drinking also, like, a lot of wine, and a lot of those foods that I was eating was causing inflammation into my body, which was making me look wider, bigger, fluffier. So I know that in order for me not to look like that again, I have to be very careful and strategic on what I eat. I have to eat more vegetables. I have to cut out carbs. And if I'm eating carbs, it's going to be healthy, non-complex carbs. I have to literally eat things that are going to nourish my body and make sure that it makes me look good. Because I'm self-centered, okay? I always want to look good. I'm a Libra. We love beauty. We love the aesthetics. We love the vibes. So everything has to look good. Don't allow people to be like, girl, it's not that serious. You can eat a burger. One burger turns into a whole meal with the burger, fries, and a large Coke. No. Don't allow people to talk you out of your goals. Don't allow people to, tell you things are not that serious, because it is that serious. You have to be selfish with what your goals are and where you're trying to go. Be selfish with working out instead of lounging around. You have to do these things in order to see the results that you want. That's why selfish women have confidence, because once they're selfish, they know that they put in that work to where nobody can talk them out of doing the things that they need to do. They already kept the promises to themselves, which helps them be confident. When you know you have to work out and you actually go to the gym, that boosts your confidence, because you're not a liar. You're somebody that keeps their word. You're somebody that could stand tall and say, yeah, I got the stuff done that was on my list and I achieved it. That's what builds confidence. So a selfish woman is very confident. If you look around and you look at people that are deemed selfish or deemed the man eater, or she's a femme fatale, or she's just a dark energy, a dark feminine energy woman, they will always be selfish, but they will always be ahead of the game. They will always win at the end of the time, versus the woman that is not selfish. That's why when anybody calls me selfish, I don't care. I actually take that as a compliment. Thank you. I worked hard to become this selfish woman. I worked hard to not let people take me off of my A game. I worked hard to stick to a goal that I want. That's a compliment. Thank you. I'm actually glad that I'm known as selfish and not selfless, because I was a hot ass mess when I was selfless. But as a selfish woman, I'm more confident. I'm more eager to achieve things in life. So I'm happy. And the last thing that I'm going to touch on when it comes to being a selfish woman, you have to be selfish with who you let in your life. A lot of people are not happy for you. A lot of people don't even like you. A lot of people really don't like you. I witnessed so many people try to be my friend, but they never liked me. They wanted to be my friend because they wanted to either learn from me, see what my life was like, or, just see what I had going on, but it was never genuine. So a lot of people, typically, they want to be your friend for their own personal gain. So you have to be selfish on who you let in your circle. If you have to walk alone, walk alone. A lot of selfish women are lone wolves. And they have to be, because with the confidence that they have, it kind of intimidates a lot of people around them. It makes people feel small because they're not doing the inner work on themselves. So a lot of selfish women don't have a big pack. They probably have a small circle of girlfriends that they're all on the same level. So be very careful on who you let in. A selfish woman does not want to have so many people in her friend group. She doesn't want to always hang around with a big crowd. She doesn't need that. People that tend to do that need that extra outside validation to feel good about themselves. But a selfish, confident woman does not need that. That is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in the Pretty and Polished course that I offer that helps women transform into their best version of themselves through your wardrobe, through your skincare, through your overall look, definitely click that link in the bio, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye.